you have to speak quite close to the mic. Yeah. So you'll be, is this recording? Okay. You ready? Sure. I'm just going to sync the audio and video. Okay. All right. Welcome everybody back to another episode of the Oompa Loompa Cycling. Today we've got a very special guest. We're here with Luis, all the way from Chiang Mai, Thailand. The first time I encountered Luis was from Durian Rider's video, where I think he was interviewing you and promoting the channel, and then I started following you on YouTube. So you run your own cycling tour agency over in Chiang Mai. But before we talk about that, welcome to Singapore. Is this your first time here? And tell us about yourself.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me here. It's actually my fourth time in Singapore. And yeah, I came maybe before COVID the first time. I've been riding, the first time I came with bicycle, so I ride around. I did a little bit of racing in Singapore, fixed gear racing.
Wow.
And yeah, now as you say, I'm based in Chiang Mai, and we have a little business with cycling trips in Chiang Mai.
Right. And you've been in Thailand for a very long time.
It's going to be 6 years now. First, I was based in Bangkok because my wife is from there, but then we moved 3 years ago to Chiang Mai.
How you liking Thailand?
Oh man, it's amazing. I actually went to Thailand way before, like 10 years ago now.
Right.
And I also did some cycling in Southeast Asia in general.
Yeah.
And I really, really like it here. The people, the weather, the roads are fantastic. So yeah, when it come the time I had to follow my wife back into Asia, I didn't hesitate.
Yeah, wow. So that's all history already.
Yeah.
And do you speak Thai?
I can speak a little bit. I understand way more. It's difficult because it's a tonal language. So you can understand a lot. I can read and write, but producing the sounds is hellish.
Can I ask for a request?
Yeah.
Can you tell if there are any Thai viewers out there? Can you tell them in Thai to subscribe to my YouTube channel?
Oh. Okay, let me think.
This isn't rehearsed, so he didn't expect this to be coming.
Is it difficult? I mean, actually, subscribe. They say subscribe.
Subscribe?
Yeah,
okay.
With a Thai accent. So, ขอต้อนนะครับ ขอ subscribe Oompa Loompa ขอบคุณครับ
Wow,
That's it.
awesome, man. Sounds like a legit Thai, man. If you didn't tell me it was even wrong or said something else, I wouldn't have known.
Yeah, I mean, probably the Thai person that listens to this are like, what the fuck is he saying? But yeah.
Okay, so you are originally from, I'm going to assume, Spain.
Originally from Spain, from the center of Spain. And then actually I was living for a long time in Barcelona, which is where the area, all the pros are based there, and cycling is huge.
And you started out cycling there, obviously.
Yeah, I started, I cycled all my life pretty much, like mountain bike when I was a kid, commuting. In Europe, it's more like, it's not like in Asia, it's not that hot, so commuting is big there. And then I would say 2011, 2012, I got my first proper road bike and started training seriously, get into racing, get into traveling. Like, I really like the component of traveling with the bike. I think it just goes together so well.
Yep.
You can discover so much of a place when you are on a bike rather than just walking or just doing the touristic stuff.
Right. So you actually raced. You did racing.
Yeah, most of the racing I've done is fixed gear because I found it back in the day, exhilarating, man, just racing on a circuit. For some reason, like crit racing is big in the States, but not in Europe. It's more road racing, but fixed gear, it's only about crits. So racing around the circuit is actually safer than it sounds because I've done crits with a road bike and I crashed. Yeah. But with the fixed gear, you have like more control, more traction. Like the braking is more kind of like, you can brake better.
Is it because you are using your pedals to brake?
Yeah, you're attached to the bike, so it's hard to explain, but it's smoother. So, yeah.
Do you still ride fixed gears now?
No, not really now, because where I'm based is super hilly.
You can't be riding fixed gear up to Doi Inthanon.
Yeah, Chiang Mai is paradise for road bikes, not so much for fixie.
Oh, wow, okay. And how did you get involved into road biking then? Like from fixed gears, how do you transition to road biking?
Actually, all the time I had a road bike for training. It's just that the easiest way to race for me was fixed gear. And back in the day, it was very popular, like the red hook crit. I did a couple of those in Barcelona. I even went to Milano. It was like bananas, man. It's so crazy.
Yeah. And then after that, you moved to Bangkok because of work?
No, actually, I met my wife in Barcelona.
Then you moved to.
And she was doing her master's there. And then came a point that we had to decide, like, okay, do we stay here? Or she had to travel back to Thailand. So I thought, okay, I've been in Thailand. I like it. So
Wow.
let's go.
Okay. And then how did Cycling Chiang Mai start?
Good question. So I went to Bangkok first, and I got a job in a cycling tour company. I had a bit of experience riding. I was more like the guide for cycling tours in Barcelona, and I knew how to sort of like get involved into that cycling tour world. But in Bangkok, I got a job in a big company as a marketing manager, and then I learned a lot how to operate the tours properly, how to do it professionally. So then when COVID happened, everybody got sacked. So I just decided to go to Chiang Mai.
Yeah.
I went many times before when I was in Bangkok, like once a month. It was the best place in Thailand to ride, and I didn't think twice. I just went to Chiang Mai.
And the reason is because of the hilly terrain.
Yeah, it's a combination of factors. I mean, you get all the good things in Thailand, the weather, the people, the food, but plus the roads are perfect and the mountains are so good. I mean, if you like the flat, you could still like ride a little bit, but the mountains is amazing. It's like, I've been riding in Europe. I've done Mont Ventoux, Alpe d'Huez, those mythical climbs. And in Thailand, it's like the same, if not better, because it's not cold.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's
What's the
perfect.
temperature over in Chiang Mai?
Chiang Mai has a very nice weather, actually. There are 3 months that proper winter, so we'll get like mornings down to 10 degrees, even in the city. And if you go to the highest point, highest mountain in Thailand is 1 hour from Chiang Mai, it will get down to 0 or even below 0 in December, January.
Yeah.
But then those, in that season, during the day will be 25 degrees and no humidity. So
Wow.
it's like
Lovely weather to
perfect
ride, man.
riding weather.
Yeah. So and you have a cafe. It's like a cafe based in Chiang Mai as well, part of the tour.
Yes.
Okay. And you get majority of people all around the world who comes for this?
Yeah, so we decided to open the cafe a little bit to link the tour business with the cycling with the local community. Cycling is actually quite a big community in Chiang Mai. But most of our clients, some from America, from the States, because they like to travel on group tours, but a lot from Singapore, actually. And more of like the old school cyclists from Singapore, they know already about Chiang Mai, and they are like maybe time poor, so they want everything organized. They will come like 3-4 days, do the tour with us, and then just fly back. There's direct flight to Singapore.
And I was just telling you, if I could do a Friday after work and I come back on Sunday, is that possible?
Yeah, possible. If you get your flight after work, I mean, you wouldn't be able to ride that Friday, but then you will have like Saturday, you can do a long ride, Sunday morning, and then fly back. So you can fit in 2 nice rides. Also, the airport in Chiang Mai is so close to the city. You land 10, 15 minutes, you are in your hotel, get your bag ready, ride.
And I was just telling you, I normally do not travel with my bike because I'm very afraid. One, the airline loses it. Second, you see horror videos of people chucking the bike into the aircraft. I don't want that to happen to my bike. So if I were to travel to Chiang Mai to your tour company, do you have bikes for me to ride? We're almost the same height.
Yeah, we do have bikes. We have at the moment like 6 or 7 that I use for the tours. I don't like rent out, but if the guests join the tours, we have bikes for them. One thing I would recommend, the best experience is bring your own bike, because you don't lose time like setting everything, and you get just the best experience. But I've rented bike for the tours, and it's also very possible. And if you only come 2 days, it's very good.
Can I do Doi Inthanon on Saturday if I come in on Friday?
Yeah, doable. Yeah,
Doable?
totally. Yeah.
And we are talking about Doi Inthanon is 2,000, and how high is this?
So the highest point in Thailand is 2,565 meters. And the whole ride, you get about 2,400 meters of gain elevation.
Wow. Oh my God. And
Yeah.
and you've been in Singapore for a couple of days already.
Yeah.
You said you went to Mount Faber.
Yeah, this morning.
So let's ask a person who's been cycling in Chiang Mai, what is it like
Yeah.
riding in Mount Faber? Because that is probably only the highest point we get here in Singapore.
Yeah. So as you see my bike here, I have my setup for Chiang Mai standard is 34 small ring, 34 cassette, very big cassette, and you need that. I mean, if you are a pro, you can a smaller cassette, but for me, it's just the standard. And today I did Mount Faber full gas, and I was on the big ring.
Full gas on the big ring. Come
Yeah.
on, guys. It puts all of you to shame. Wow, okay. And
It's a compact though. It's just a 50.
yeah, and so far all the bikes that I have on the shows are really expensive. You can probably buy a car in Thailand. Your bike is rather inexpensive. You're telling me you're very proud of it because you didn't spend much.
Yeah. I really like it because now the second-hand market in Thailand is quite cheap, and you can get good stuff. In general, the Thai riders take care of the equipment, or maybe they just don't ride that much. It was like really good condition, and yeah, I bought everything, all the parts separately, and I put it together for $1,000 more or less.
$1,000. So this is a Kaze
Yeah,
Kanon?
yeah. The brand is Kaze,
Yeah.
as in kamikaze.
Yeah.
And the model is Canon, even
And-
though it says race there, but it's sort of like the S-Works copy.
And this is a local Thai brand.
Yeah, it's Thai, and it's also from the north of Thailand. There are a couple of big brands in Thailand. One is based in Bangkok, but this one is based in Chiang Mai, so fully local.
Wow. Okay, so tell us, let's go through your bike, man. Everything here is secondhand?
Everything secondhand, yeah.
Okay, maybe if you could run us through the frame, wheels, group set, and everything you have on here.
So the frame, as we say, is Kaze Kanon. The brand call it like the not aero, but also not climbing, like multi-purpose, no, all round. It's a size 49 of the brand, but I have a specialized. This is my travel bike, by the way. But I just bought a SL5 rim brake. It's a 52, so it will be the equivalent for this one. It's like size S. Groupset is Shimano 105, the latest that is for rim brake. And one very good thing that I like about this frame is that it's rim brake, but it's direct mount, so it actually has a lot of like stopping power. And one of the things that I absolutely don't do is ride on the rain. So we have the coffee shop by the mountain, so we can see the weather in the morning, even in the rainy season. Mornings are normally overcast, so we just ride. If it starts raining, go down. But anyway, on the ride, on the dry conditions, these rim brakes the direct mount is super powerful. So very happy with it. It helps to get the weight lighter. It's approximately 7.8 with the pedals included. So yeah, pretty good. And then the wheels are kind of like training wheels. Rim brakes, simple Zipp 30s, I think they're called. Nothing fancy, normal spokes that you can replace anywhere. A couple of good components there will be the handlebar is carbon, and it's quite narrow. I like it. It's a 38. The saddle is a Fizik. I have a different Fizik. I'm not sure the model, this one.
Aliante?
Yeah. And it's carbon as well, pretty light, 150 grams. That's a couple of things, but also you get it second hand for nothing, like maybe 70, 80 Singapore dollars.
Yeah. And what is the weight?
7.8.
Okay.
If I'm not wrong. Yeah, I think with pedals.
And you do a lot of climbing, so is weight important for you? It's like a 7.8 kilo weight bike.
Yeah, actually, for bigger riders, not that much, but for I'm quite light, like 61, 62. So it's the weight of the bike is more important in the equation. So I try to keep it light, but I'm not like a weight weenie. Like again, for $1,000, you cannot get much lighter than this. Probably maybe just like put the TPU inner tubes, something like that. Yeah, that will be it.
Your friend who brought you around Singapore, he has a very lovely bike. It's Aurum Magma with very fancy wheels. The German brand, I don't know if I'm going to butcher the name. It's Mellenstein, right? What do you think of that, man? That bike against this one?
Yeah, man, that's a serious bike.
Maybe get you on the couch the next time. It's a serious bike.
Yeah, that's very good. Actually, yeah, he knows his shit. And it's the only Aurum with Campagnolo, apparently.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Campagnolo Super Record, electronic GPS. So.
And Alberto Contador signature is on the down tube,
Oh,
man.
yeah, that's one of a kind.
Have you had any pros come onto your tour?
Actually, I had a pro from Bora last November.
Peter Sagan?
No. And Sagan quit Bora, no? Like a
Yeah,
couple of
yeah,
years
yeah.
ago. No, this guy is from the Netherlands, a quite young guy, Ide Schelling. Yeah.
It's a tall guy, right?
Yeah, sort of tall. Yeah, actually, he had to ride with a Specialized by contract, and I put together a Specialized for him that I got against secondhand because I wasn't going to buy a SL7 just for one tour, but
Yeah.
it was an SL2.
Yeah.
Put it together, and the guy was still dropping everybody.
Wow.
We did a group ride with the local riders, and they were all like super excited to meet the real pro. And I like it because it could show those local riders like, hey, you can be a pro and ride an SL2 and still drop everybody, and you don't need to spend that much to enjoy cycling, really.
Just now you were just talking about the rim wheels, and you said if it rains, you guys don't go out.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people, I used rim brakes for some time before disc was even in the market. And it was just like yours, right? The walls were all these aluminium walls. It wasn't just carbon ones. You can still brake. It just takes a bit more stopping power. It's not as bad as most people think. But you predominantly ride on the hills when you come downhill. How's it like braking on rim brakes?
I've been down with this bike on 30+% gradients and managed easily. And I mean, I also have to say, to be fair, that I weighed 61. So maybe for someone that is 80, it's a little bit more difficult. But for me, it's like, it can stop like 30+% downhill and it still can stop me. So.
Well, what are your thoughts about the current disc brake market? Will you ever get yourself one?
No. If there's nothing available on rim, I'll just get a gravel bike.
Gravel bike?
Yeah, I think it's silly. It's just my personal opinion. I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. But
especially if you're here in Singapore, everyone is, I would say 90% of people are on disc brakes already.
But I don't blame them because it's not my choice. If you want a new bike and it's bling, it has to be like that. The industry is going that way. But maybe if you have like, I don't know, 34 or 36 millimeter, like very wide tire makes a difference. But I run 23s. You put
23s, wow.
Yeah. Okay. You put disc on 23s and it's pointless, It's like the contact surface on the road is so tiny that it doesn't make a difference. So I guess if there's no choice but to go disc, I would just get a gravel bike and enjoy a bit more.
Yeah.
I think in Chiang Mai, I haven't been exploring much gravel, obviously, but sometimes I get on gravel paths with the road bike, and I feel like there's a lot of gravel there.
I always get roasted by a lot of people on my show when because I run 25s. I'm rather lightweight. I put 110 psi on my very high pressure. Only because Singapore flat, it's super smooth. I love it, right? You run 23s. What are the tire pressures that you put in?
23s with 100 more or less.
100?
For my weight, I think it's good. I like the feeling, like, I don't know about scientific, like, rolling resistance, how fast, how slow. I just like going up a hill, and we have a lot of hills in Chiang Mai with the tires really pumped, and man, it just feels, and you hear like,
yeah, I know, right?
it just feels good,
Yeah. What do you think about tubeless then? Tubeless and going wide tires, 28s on tubeless.
I think it's really good, like in the sense of like don't getting stranded on the road, and it's a good solution. I haven't really tried, but it sounds good. Okay. But this thing works, so it's okay.
So maybe if you could give us a review on your bike. What do you like and do not like about your bike?
What I like is the simplicity, and that to show that you don't need to spend a lot to just enjoy the experience. It gives me a very good experience. It rides like a dream. Shimano 105 is just, I have a Dura Ace in my proper bike, and I'm going to put it in this S-Works SL5 later. But this one, like the shifting feeling is the same as Dura Ace. It's just changed the weight a bit. But I don't know. If I have to spend $10,000 to bring it down a kilo, I'm still super happy with it.
Yeah.
What I don't like, maybe the quality of the paint is not very good, but you know, it's like, and also like the colors and that weird race on the middle is not a beautiful bike, I would say, in terms of the aesthetics of the paint.
But it works.
But it works so good. It gives me such a good experience.
You said you were building up another SL5.
Yeah.
What's up with that one?
So I found it in this, you see like this turquoise color of my branding. So I got that one. It's from the year 2017 or 2018 that they did that S-Works in the Bianchi color, you know. So I found that one on my site, secondhand, good price. And I was like, oh, I got to have this one. And that one for the pure aesthetics.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's a little bit used, but good condition. And so I have the Durace Groupset on my other bike, so I just put it there. Some Mavics. Nothing like, I mean, all in all, it's going to be $3,000.
Yeah.
Like nothing like the new bikes now. It's getting out of hand, man.
Yeah, but speaking about new bikes now, right? If money was not an issue, what will be the bike that you'll get?
Oof, money not an issue.
And how would you spec it up?
I really like titanium bikes.
Oh, okay.
And I tried one in Japan, in Tokyo. It's the brand called Cherubim. Cherubim. It's like custom Japanese with super nice details. And I guess if money not an issue, just put some Campagnolo. Why not? Italian looks good. You know? Italian group set, Japanese frame. Just
have you tried titanium frames before?
I just had the sample bike. Just went around the block.
Okay, the one in Japan, right?
It just looks so good.
Okay, so coming back to your tour, let's talk more about that. How does it work? How much are we looking at, and how many people do you bring onto the tour?
Yeah, so it really depends on the duration. I would say I have like 2 bestseller trips. One, I call it the highlights. So it's just 3 days, 3 riding days, and also 3 nights. So I offer like a package, you know. You just land in Chiang Mai, we take care of you and do all these rides. In all the rides, we have a local Thai guide cycling with a group. Normally, groups tend to come like groups of friends. So they already like have their group 3-4 people in general. That's ideal, but we've done bigger groups, any size. You just need to add like more guides, more support vehicles. So normally for a group of 4, we have a support vehicle that will go along the way all the time with snacks, with food, beverage, electrolytes, anything needed. If any problem, mechanical problem happen, can fix. So this 3-day tour, I call it the highlights. So we do the most iconic rides in the area. First is the local climb. We have just on the side of Chiang Mai, and Chiang Mai is a very small town. It's not like Singapore. So just on the side of Chiang Mai, there's a ore category climb, 19 kilometers just climbing. So we do that, but the average gradient is easy. It's like six something. So it's like Faber, but for
19 kilometers. I can't even bring my ass up.
It's really good. It's
19
really good. Like, if you do it, I've done it full gas. It's an hour and 15. But if you just do it lesser pace, like you can do 2.5 hours, and then super long downhill, like half an hour. So yeah, that's a must. You can do it in the afternoon as well, the same day that you fly in. So it's pretty good.
And it doesn't get so hot. That's why you can do it like any time of the day, right?
Yeah, you can do it anytime. And that climb is very shady. There's a lot of trees around. So yeah, it's quite good. Then the next day will be like the long day out on the saddle. There's a local loop about 90 kilometers and 1,500 meters of elevation. So it's quite tough. The gradients also a little bit like the average will be the same, but maybe 20% maximum sometimes on ramps. That's also why you need to have like a big cassette.
Yeah.
Some Singaporean people, I don't know what is the normal standard here, at 28 maybe?
Yeah.
People ride. So with that 28, you have to be very strong to ride in Chiang Mai.
Yeah.
And then the last day we do the most iconic, which is the highest point in Thailand. What we mentioned is Doi Inthanon is the name, and it goes up to 2,565 meters. That's like, it's a very tough climb also because it's steep and for a very long time. So you might get sections of 5 kilometers non-stop, nothing below 17, 18. So yeah.
And it's most of the time off saddle.
Yeah. And if it's not like, if the road is not wet because it's the rainy season or a bit damp, but sometimes you cannot. You need to
your
sit
wheel will
down.
spin.
Yeah. I did a couple of weeks ago. There's a race on a local climb that it was over 30%,
Yeah.
and it was raining, and man, absolutely no traction.
Oh,
It was
wow.
a pain.
Okay.
I because of that, I did like my best power for 1 hour because I couldn't get off the saddle. I had no other. Yeah.
Yeah, so you really gotta sometimes sit on your saddle so that you get a bit of pressure onto
Yeah.
the rear wheel and it
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
spin out, right?
And at the same time, lean to the front, so like the front wheel also stays.
Yeah. So I guess people can find you over on your website,
Yeah, yeah.
Instagram.
Cycling Chiang Mai, all the social networks is Cycling Chiang Mai. It's quite easy. Even you Google Cycling Chiang Mai, we're gonna be at the
The
top.
only one.
And the website is just ends in CC, Cycling Club.
Can I come when Mr. Durian Rider is on?
Yeah, he normally is around October, November.
Okay.
He's-
I'll
he's-
block my calendar October, November. I've interviewed Durian Rider some time ago. It's a nice guy, man.
Yeah, he's a very good guy, very down to earth, and he's one of the first like pioneers that go like Westerners that go to Chiang Mai cycling like maybe more than 10 years ago.
Okay, and can we talk about pricing? So how does it range?
Yeah, always hard to say in Singapore now. I don't have the
Okay, maybe
brain
in,
to calculate, but
is
in
in Thai baht?
Thai baht, yeah. So this 3 day is all inclusive, 3 nights hotel. We include all the meals because we also want the whole experience. Like we have the guide gonna give you the nice local food from the north of Thailand. So it was like 25,000 baht per person.
Okay.
And then, yeah, so I was talking about the other bestseller tour that we have. It's a 6-day trip, but this one is a little bit hardcore. And what I mentioned before is that I recommend, I study a lot the type of customers that inquire about the tour, and I see their Strava, and I kind of like only recommend doing this tour if you have at least 3 watts per kilo FTP minimum. So it's 6 days. Average per day 2,000 plus meters of climbing, total 13,000 meters of climbing. So it's called the Mae Hong Son Loop.
Okay.
And it's amazing. It's like a point-to-point trip, start and finish in Chiang Mai. And so the support vehicle will have all the luggage, bring everything along the way, and we stay in different towns. And yeah, it's just a very nice experience.
If I can ride my 8 kilo S-Works Venge up to Mount Faber and down one time only, do I qualify?
Oof. It's not as steep. What is the steepest? Like 8-9%?
yeah.
For a very short, it
Very
feels
short.
like a bump.
For me to do 1,000-meter elevation, I need like what, more than 11, 12 loops of Faber?
Yeah, the important thing is also if you do that trip, like come prepared, put a 34 cassette, and that helps a lot. But still, there's a lot of training pre-tour that I recommend.
Okay.
I mean, 3 watts per kilo. It's not crazy. It's like not World Tour Pro,
Yeah.
but it's also not everybody can do it. That's my point. Not every casual rider can do this type of trip because I don't want them to be miserable. If they come.
Yeah.
So yeah.
What if I'm an asshole, right? And I say like, no, I still want to do it. I come. Do you still accept me?
Yeah. I mean, if you put a gun on my head, you can come. Yeah. Another good thing about these trips, you always have the vehicle along.
Yeah.
So even myself, I've done these trips a few times now, and one day I got food poisoning, and the next day, man, I was like struggling to push 100 watts on the climb. I did 2 hours. I didn't want to quit, but in the end, I couldn't. So I just jumped on the van, put my bike inside, and just finish. And it's a good thing to have the support.
Okay. I don't have many cycling friends, so if I want to come, can I come alone? Or do you pair me up with other people in the group?
Yeah, no. So what I'm gonna do? So basically, the best months to do this, especially the long trips, is November, December, January. It's absolutely best condition in Chiang Mai, perfect weather, almost 100% guarantee, no rain, cool weather. So for this next season, next November, I'm gonna put on the website. Still not up there, but we're gonna have a calendar. So everybody will see like the trips that fill up, and if you're one, you can sign up, and maybe someone else signs, and that's pretty common for cyclists, cycling trips in general. Like people like also the social component to go there and meet other like-minded cyclists, and yeah, it's nice.
And what if in that group I'm the slowest among everybody? Will someone wait for me, or will I be struggling to go up by myself?
Oh yeah, so the way it goes, like normally the guide will go ahead with the fastest pace. I mean, if it's more than 6 people, probably 2 guides, more than 6. But if it's up to 6, the guide will be ahead, the van will be behind. Kind of like in the Tour de France,
Yeah,
you have
yeah,
the
yeah.
last vehicles and pick up the riders that kind of finish.
And do you sweep them? You're like, oh, you know what? Too late. Get onto the truck. Get your ass on the truck. We're gonna go home.
No, not really. I mean, I don't think anybody wants to do that, but anybody wants to like finish the trip when it's dark, so they probably want to jump on the van anyway.
Yeah.
We had a trip with the slower riders and maybe end around. Yeah, the latest you end the day is maybe 5 p.m. But yeah.
And pricing is fixed for a person. It doesn't matter how big the group is, right?
No. If the group is bigger and everybody comes together, we can make a special price for sure.
And what's the ideal size of a group?
In my experience, for more fun, 4 to 6 is good. So it's not too big, but yeah.
Okay.
In general, the groups of friends that come, they tend to be around 4. It's like a good number.
Okay. I'll move on to some questions that some people submitted on Instagram. This is an interesting one.
Yeah.
So this person would like to know where did the bike brand come from. So you said it's from Thailand, right?
Yeah.
So if someone wants to buy this, you just Google this up.
Yeah, I think, that's a good question because I know people that wanted to buy it overseas and they have like a very clunky website and doesn't really work for payments. So I would say, travel to Thailand. They have the headquarters there in Chiang Mai. It's not far from the city. They have a nice showroom. So just treat yourself to a holiday and get a bike and bring it back.
I've seen another brand from Thailand. I believe it's from Thailand. It's called Niche.
Yeah, Niche is the one that I said that is based in Bangkok. So they are the 2 big brands. Yeah.
What bikes do people in Bangkok ride? Do you see a lot of very fancy bikes? I mean, in Singapore, you see a lot of nice bikes. But
Man, the froth. in Bangkok, the skyline, right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like
the
cycling track
Suvarnabhumi,
around the airport. I think I've never seen even more expensive and fancy than Singapore. There is a guy that was famous because he got a custom-made Fesca, custom painted like with Thai style decoration, like something crazy. It was in magazines, and they do
really?
this from Bangkok. And like those, what is the brand of this? PNS.
Past Normal Studios. Yeah.
They have like a showroom there, and everybody's wearing that. And the price in Thailand is insane. I think because of the taxes, like we're talking like 10,000 for a jersey.
Yeah.
But people still love it, man.
Yeah.
Like, and in Bangkok, I think it's just like so many well-off.
A lot of people say that cycling is now like the new golf. It's a place to make business. You ride fancy bikes. You go to cafes. It's like a sports car. You guys start talking about that. It's changing, man.
I understand it in Bangkok. I understand it because the cycling itself is not good. You just go around the track and it's flat, so might as well bring a fancy bike.
Yeah.
But in Chiang Mai, it's a bit different. You will get some fancy bikes as well, especially the owners of the shops. There's a shop that is a dealer of Factor, and the guy has like 3 or 4. But in general, the strongest riders are from Chiang Mai.
Yeah.
Like I'm talking like national team level. And I've done events like when it's climbing, like race to Doi Inthanon, another one 2 weeks ago, Doi Inthanon. They're really steep and hard events, climbing events. People show up with rim brakes, but they will come like with the EE, super light saddles, everything. Like, man, they know their stuff in Thailand, like better stuff than in Europe, 100%.
Yeah. Back in Barcelona, when you were riding, do people ride fancy bikes as well?
Not at all.
No?
Not at all, man.
So people are not very materialistic about bikes, they just get something that works.
The thing is, back in the day in Barcelona, I'm talking more than 10 years ago. So I had a Cannondale, aluminum as well, Cassette, and you kind of had to live up to the level of your bike. And if you see like a Pinarello, it will be like a local pro, because you are no one, and show up with the Pinarello, and people will like. There's a hill in Barcelona, so people will pass by on aluminium shitty bikes. They will laugh at you, but it's different culture. I think Thai people are like respectful. They don't care. They don't care what you spend the money on. So
Yeah, there are 2 Pinarellos over there just waiting. It's fully serviced, right?
I think in Barcelona, you knew if you see that bike, you know it's some local pro or like really high-end amateur that they really need that equipment. But back in the day, I think it's still not that expensive.
I have to say this is very grounding to be speaking to someone who is outside of Singapore who has a rather, I don't want to use the word cheap, but a budget-friendly bike, and you guys ride like mad. Because over here, all we think about, okay, not all, but sometimes I get caught into that perception of like, I got to keep upgrading my bike, you know, like my legs are not working, keep buying new things, trying to get faster. But at the end of the day, it's really the rider, right?
Man, it's so much there.
Like you said, right?
You know, very easy way. Like the races I like to race in Thailand is more like the uphill. So the weight really matters. I mean, if you can afford like a 6 kilo bike, go for it. It's gonna help you. But the easiest way to lose like 1 kilo before the race, you know what it is?
Yeah.
Just go to the toilet early morning. Like,
Dump everything out.
Yeah, exactly. That's the best strategy.
Yeah.
And for free.
You only run 1 bottle cage.
Yeah.
Even up in Chiang Mai, or you just put it here because you're in Singapore?
That's a very good question. If it's a race, I'm gonna put 2 actually, because even though it only takes like 1.5 to 2.5 hours, you really need it. But the good thing about riding in Thailand, and that's general everywhere in Thailand, is like you have so many places that you can get water or like food or maybe even Coke and soft drinks. Doesn't need to be shops. Like in the middle of nowhere, in any village, there will be people with a fridge in front of the house that will sell you anything.
Oh, really?
So it's not even like 5-10 kilometers that you can find your next top up.
So you won't get stranded.
Not at all.
Okay,
Man. But
okay.
I'm talking like really rural northern Thailand, middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
But it's very like they have a lot of small villages scattered, and you will always get some drinks for sure.
Okay. The next question from this user, he would like to know, how can you climb so many hills on a bike that is not $20,000? Ride upgrades, not upgrades.
Yeah, well, I feel we already talked. I mean, it has to do that also the secondhand market in Thailand is good, so you can really get a good price. But even though this was 2,000, still like, I don't know why you need like a $10,000 or $20,000 just to climb a mountain. You know, you can do it as long as it's not a bike from Walmart or
Yeah.
If it's a proper road bike with Shimano 105. That works well. Like,
so what would you say to newbies out there who want to start cycling, coming in, I would say, the post-COVID era or COVID cyclists? What kind of bike should they buy? Should they go for, like you say, your Walmart or what we call in Singapore decathlon bikes? Or should they go for a decent, maybe a giant Merida with 105?
For me, it's before going to those cheap bikes, Decathlon, I don't like it particularly. There's a Decathlon in Chiang Mai. I would go for a second-hand bike, especially if you're a newbie, because you will make all the mistakes and it's a used bike. And you'll get a good price, and it will be nice if you get into a club so you know some people and you know where the bike is coming and you can buy off someone. That's 100% the best. And when I started with my first few bikes, second-hand, yeah.
So go second-hand.
Even my new best bike now, the SL5 is second-hand. I love it, man.
Yeah. I think it's not all about the brand and you know, just get something that works for you and you can experiment with, right?
Yeah. But you will get the same experience as someone with the most expensive bike. You will get the same, and if you go on a trip, you will do the same trip, and even like more peace of mind because you will be in the middle of nowhere. You can put your bike on the ground. If you have super expensive, maybe
exactly. That's what I was just telling you. I'm so scared to travel my bike because it's you know, I paid a lot of money for it. Don't want it to get damaged.
Yeah, myself, like I'm going now to Europe for a few weeks, and I didn't want to bring the good bike just in case. I bring this one. It works perfect.
How do you pack your bike?
I just have like a rigid case, rigid plastic, so it works really well. You don't even need to remove the seat post, just the handlebar. Remove the handlebar, wheels, and yeah.
So what's the next destination in Europe? Where are you gonna go riding?
Going back to Spain now.
Okay.
Because now it's worth mentioning that Chiang Mai, more than 10 months a year is heaven, paradise for cyclists. But right now they have a season that is like the burning season. So the farmers burn the crops and the air is not healthy. Just for like the next 6 weeks, more or less. I don't recommend anyone going there.
Okay. So it gets very hazy and.
Yeah, I mean, it's still a nice town. Everybody has air purifiers. If you're just a tourist, you can go there, but not for outdoor activities and
Yeah.
cannot cycle.
Next question is, how is your bike so light at only $1,000? What makes your bike at 7.5?
Yeah, the simplicity. I mean, what is the difference between a 105 and a Dura-Ace? It's not even like 400 grams. So that's why, I mean, 7.8 I don't consider cutting it. But it's like 400 grams heavier Groupset. The wheels are training wheels, but it's still very simple, like fewer spokes, because now the wheels have a lot of spokes. They need to. No rotors, just the calipers. Couple of key things I mentioned before, saddle and bars, both carbon, so that cuts a fair bit, but it's still cheap components, like a carbon bar secondhand goes for 2,000 baht, which is, I don't know, 60, 70 Singapore. I don't know.
Yeah. Last two questions. How do you feel seeing so many Pinarello dogmas in Singapore? Even at the workshop, there's just two lying there, man.
Yeah, I mean, actually, I haven't been riding. I only did a ride this morning, and I didn't see many cyclists. So I guess I really need to go on those group rides, maybe Saturday. But I'm not staying on Saturdays. That's a shame. But I think it's nice. I mean, Pinarello is a nice bike. I wouldn't mind to have one.
Yeah.
I just think, if you can afford it, go for it. Perfect. I just think you don't need it necessarily. It will give you the same cycling experience as any other brand. No one that can afford a Pinarello goes 50 kilometers per hour average that they tell you, oh yeah, you can cut 20 seconds over a 40 kilometers time trial if you go at 50 per hour. Who goes 50 per hour, man?
Yeah.
Like, I go 7 per hour when I go up the hills in Chiang Mai. It's 20%.
Yeah.
It's different style of riding.
Yeah.
If you want to go fast, I'd rather invest on a TT
Yeah.
in the position. Another ways to go fast, way more important, get a skin suit, man. The rider adds up to 90% of the aero drag. You're like, get a skin suit, work on your position. Get a bike fit here.
Yeah, weekend bike fitter, guys. Even I haven't done a bike fit. Did you do a bike fit? Have you done a bike fit?
No, I do a lot of like trial and error, but that also worked as well. I think the bike fit, if you are into racing and you want to get like, that top end speed, for sure works a lot. Also, if you have problems, you're just casual and not worry about the speed. Just try different things, try different stem length.
Yeah.
It's a lot of experimentation, and I think it's part of the cycling experience.
Yeah, and I've always said this in my previous videos, this kind of old school, sorry to say it's old school, cockpit setup, right? Like a one-piece bar and then a stem. It's easier to make so many changes to find the right fit. Whereas bikes today, they're all one-piece cockpit. It's impossible to do that. And it's going to cost you money, right? You want to change a small thing, you got to buy the whole thing. It's
exactly.
expensive.
And you mentioned before what I don't like about this bike. Another detail I don't like is the D-shaped seat post proprietary, because you cannot flip it. That's another way you can. You used to play more with old school frames like your Cannondale. Rounded seat post, you can flip it, you can adjust your position. Yeah. That is perfect, and you are not like linked to the proprietary seat post.
Yeah. Anyway, nowadays everything on newer bikes are all proprietary, down to the bolts and everything. Come on, man.
It does look super nice. Like from the aesthetic point of view, now you see the bikes and they look from the future. And I'm a designer. I like beautiful things, but I think for me, cycling aesthetics shall be like 10% of the whole package, but 90% is the experience and the comfort and the also things like, the durability of the tires. Like, for example, I run Gatorskins. They just like last so long. Like maybe 1.5 years, I don't need to change my tires.
Yeah.
I like those kind of like old school things, but work and give me a very nice experience.
Yeah, I used to have Gatorskins, but what I found out was it was very draggy. It wasn't as fast, obviously, as compared to 5,000, but it lasts forever.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
so
yeah.
puncture proof. And
Yeah.
like you said, 1.5 years on these tires, right?
Exactly.
So long.
Yeah.
But one of the things I realized about the newer bikes, which I appreciate and don't appreciate, is when I first got my Venge, I was very fascinated, and it's an old Venge, it's a 2019, I got it secondhand. I was so fascinated by all the cables going in. And at this time, already everyone in Singapore already had. It's nothing new, but for me, it's something new because I used to ride bikes where cables were just flaring all over the place. And it looks so nice when everything's integrated. It looks like one piece. But the only problem is maintenance.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
everything runs through the bike. It's such a pain. Even just to service the headset, you got to bleed the whole thing, cut off cables here and there. Not cut off, but you got to remove things. So
Even with for the professional bike mechanics, everything is a nightmare now.
I think I saw Chris Froome posted this TikTok video how he was poking fun at disc brakes because I think he had a mechanical problem and then one of his mechanics had to swap the tire, but he was taking so long because he had to align the disc and the whole peloton already caught up with him. So last time on rim brakes it's so easy, so fast, just slot it in and you're good to go, right?
Yeah. Now racing is more difficult. And now you mentioned about the maintenance. I have a friend that he's also like YouTube superstar.
Oh, what's his name?
Joel Brunner. He's big on YouTube, and he got a bike. He's sponsored by Niche actually. He's on the Niche team, but he got his personal bike just to climb hills. He got what is the name? Focus, like the German brand.
Focus Izalco?
I think so, but it was like the last model that had external cables, even on the down tube, and he put a SRAM red, I think the 10 speed, which is the lightest ever, man. SRAM red 10 speed, and man, that thing is like with all together, even with the empty bottles, it's like 6 kilo.
Wow.
And he used it. He did number 2 on the Doi Inthanon race. He's like, wow, it's a climbing beast. And with a bike that is almost 10 years, you know? You don't need the latest cutting edge.
You don't need the latest and greatest. Last question for today. What tip or recommendation will you give to someone from Singapore to ride in Chiang Mai?
All right, so many tips that we already talked, but super important, big cassette, 34 and compact, because it's just going to make your life so easy. I would say one of the reasons I recommend going on a tour on the cycling experience is because it can be a little bit tricky and treacherous riding in Chiang Mai. I tell you, the roads are very good, but sometimes like a lot of hairpins, you don't know the terrain, steep downhills. So that will be another tip. Like obviously favors me, but if you can book yourself on a trip, you're gonna enjoy much better. And yeah, I mean, you can do trips on a disc brake, but rims also works. Whatever bike you can ride uphill with a big cassette, you can bring it there. I recommend also like bring your bike, gonna give you a better experience. And that will be it.
All right.
And train a lot.
Do more Mount Fabers and I guess only Mount Fabers here in Singapore.
A lot of repeats.
Luis, thank you so much for coming all the way here. Really appreciate it. I hope to see you in Chiang Mai sometime if I have the time.
You have to come.
I have to come, but I need to find accommodation for my wife while I go out cycling from in the morning all the way to the night.
I sort you out, man. And my wife's there, so you can show her around. So
that's it. Maybe a round of applause for Luis.
Got drunk off your life, and I lost myself again. You hit just like a drug. This time I won't let you in. You're playing with fire. No, I didn't numb the prey, but this time